Grand day, grand day. Abundant rising. I'm just gonna let y'all know. Hey, Will, I saw you live yesterday. I saw your replay. You were speaking some real stuff, man. We gotta have a build. Me and you, bro. You on my type of time. You like the only one I really be seeing that's really talking that shit. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you. I know it ain't easy to be doing this seemingly when other beings ain't really trying to do it, but I'm not sugarcoating this shit today because I'm getting into it. I'm getting into it. I'm about to tell you what nature been telling me about y'all and other beings because it's time for y'all to put y'all big boy or big girl pants on and start acting like this is your land. Like we set this game up for us to overcome, not to be playing, watching other people overcome it while you sitting there not doing nothing. This is the problem with us. I ain't even gonna say us. I'm gonna say you because it ain't the problem with me. I done made my moves. I done made my moves. So a lot of y'all hit me up in my DMs after I posted about the real Tarzan. And y'all was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Can you use your motherfucking eyes? Have you been using your eyes when you see this shit? That is not a nature being. Okay? That is an op that's pretending to be one of you. And as a guardian, right? As a dinosaur, as a dragon, I don't like beings playing with my dragons. That nigga ain't a nature being. Okay? And y'all keep on thinking, like my first thought about this being was because he's one of the biggest ones online, right? Calling himself the real Tarzan, which is total disrespect to nature. Because I ain't seen that nigga in no trees. I ain't seen him having nature walk up to him. I seen him going to preserves, right? Where animals have been subdued, snatching them up. Animals have been overcome, pretending that he is the master of them. He is not the master of nature. You are. And your ass is going to work while you watching this brother out here pretending to be you. Destiny swapped y'all niggas. He destiny swapped the real Tarzans. And the rest of these motherfuckers did as well, pretending to be you. This is what they do. This is what the algorithm supports. This is what the powers that were and are being gone do. You ever wonder how these beings make so much money? How they get a hold of so many animals? And you never seem to know how they make their money. You never know. Like, how do you get rich? How do you have the ability to travel the world? How do you have so much abundance? Destiny swapped your ass. And that's why I keep on telling y'all be looking at the avatars thinking that they one of you. This is how they get y'all. This is why if y'all got out in nature, you would know this information. But you're not out in nature. You're okay watching beings like me and other beings get out in nature while your ass is going to a 9 to 5 today. You know, sacrifice is a really big thing in the spiritual realm. It's a really big thing in the spiritual realm. And the more you sacrifice, the more you receive. Because the sacrifices that you make are something that you once held on to that you thought were valuable. And even if you think it's valuable and you let it go, you find out that it wasn't as valuable as what you sacrificed it for. Now, when I was seeing the brother, because I've been seeing him for years, and I've been watching him for years, and I never really said anything because I wasn't quite sure. I wasn't quite sure. until nature was telling me, really, it was giving me the full scoop on everything. And I'm like, I keep on getting this reading. I keep on getting this reading because a lot of y'all are psychics and y'all be getting the readings and y'all be more powerful than the psychics that you be paying. And I had to find that about myself. I'm like, how come certain psychics couldn't give me information that I knew was real that wind up happening to me? And then I realized it. Oh, there are psychics in this dimension or in the previous dimensions that are only psychics for the dimensions that they exist in. And the information that you're asking the psychic is above the dimension that they exist in. And it's really from the true dimension that you exist in. And you're asking the psychic to look at something above its actual capabilities because you are the true psychic asking lower level psychics to probably guide you. But once you get to a high enough capacity, you don't need them anymore. So all they're going to do is keep you in the dimension which you exist in by giving you information that they only can see. I was like, oh shit, I'm more powerful than all of them. And so are you too. And so are you too. Now, I want you to understand something. It is not natural to put anacondas in your bed. It is not natural to put cobras or other types of species in your shower. Now, the reason why these beings have not attacked these beings yet is because it is not time yet. But let me tell you something. One of the biggest reasons why they can't talk out of their mouth is because they would be giving up the sauce. So they are telepathic. And when you begin to read their energy also has a communication to it. So this cobra that he's been playing with, right? This cobra is about to fuck him up. It is waiting. And I want you to watch the last videos. He's playing with the cobra and it's getting all close to his face. And then he's like putting it down all scared. If you were a real Tarzan, why would you be afraid of cobras? Now, I don't have a beef with the brother, but nature does. And I'm only speaking on what nature's been telling me. Because he ain't the only one, but he's one of the biggest. And he's one of the biggest because he looks like you and me. And you think he's aboriginal or whatever. But what's in the body is what y'all need to be worried about. Y'all keep on seeing this black and white shit, right? And I spoke about the Caucasians. I told y'all, Caucasians, right? They are the adversary of this reality, but there are gods in Caucasian bodies. And melanated beings, there are gods in their bodies, but there aren't gods in those bodies as well. And this throws you off if you're not able to see the energy of certain beings. And a lot of you are not able to see the energy of certain beings because you are not outside. You pretend to go outside. You go outside for an hour. The sun be burning you a little bit because you're not eating right. And then you go back in the house. Or you go out in front of your house or in your backyard and you think you're getting outside. Meanwhile, all you hear is lawnmowers and weed whackers, children playing and buses and fire alarms, helicopters and planes. And you're like, it's too loud out here. That's because you set this reality up to annoy you enough to so you can take your ass deeper in nature. And I want you to stop making excuses as well and worrying about, well, how'd you get out there? I want to hear your story. I'll do a whole video talking about the fact that it's not about my story. It's not about my journey. It's about, I'm telling you what nature's telling me. Find your place, your divine journey, your divine blueprint. And you'll be like, well, what about your blueprint? It just went right over your head. Everybody has their own divine blueprint. And once you listen to your own divine blueprint, nature will give you the information it needs to give you. It will tell you what it's about to do. It'll tell you where you need to go, right? It'll tell you what you need to do. It'll tell you what to sacrifice, what to let go. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I've left everything that I could leave, right? I left my home. I gave up my other car. My children. I have 4 children. I had to leave. I left. I don't play sports anymore. I was good at every sport I ever played to this day. I left it. It made me feel good, but it was primitive. So I left it. I left bills. I'm happy about that. I left what I thought were friends. I left what I thought was my family that showed me at the end they weren't my family. You know, I left comfort And I continue to leave comfort every week since I've been gone because I'm always somewhere else. People are like, well, where do you stay at? And I reply, everywhere. I stay everywhere. I stay where my higher self tells me to go, and I explore the lands where I'm at with no fear. And I'm sitting here watching beings online listen to beings report about nature, but they're not in nature. I'm sitting here watching beings follow beings who talk about what's happening, but they're not making it happen. They're only talking about what's happening. Because this is to make you believe that you don't have to do anything. To the point where one day, if you hear somebody like me who is about action, you will sit in your cubicle at work, or you will sit at home, and you will gaslight yourself, and you will find ways not to move. You'll say things like, I can move in my own time. Well, last time I checked, we got more than one moon. Or that moon just be changing frequency every other night. Last time I checked, them clouds look like mountains in the sky. What? Last time I checked, that sun is turning up its frequency every day. And you still thinking that this system going to stay around. Let me tell you what's going to happen to you if you don't listen. You about to get your ass whipped. I don't care if you a god or not. You out here playing games. You is a whole bitch right now. Because you know all this information, right? And I know this is going to make somebody mad, but good thing I ain't trying to make no friends. Good thing it's not a popularity contest, because I've been online for 11 years and I go viral and I get smacked down and I go viral. So I'm used to it. So I might as well just say what I want to say, because I have been going viral and getting followings and getting shadow banned for 11 years. And I have never taken a break. Going through divorces, going through a divorce, going through attacks, making videos fresh out the hospital after I tore both my Achilles. I have been through the ringer and I'm here stronger than a mug, because the ones that go through the most are actually built for. It's like we built ourselves up in a lab of what we could actually withstand and go through. So you ain't scaring me with being mad at me, because I do not give a fuck about how you feel about me. I care about what you need to be doing, which is getting your ass in nature. Because all this information that I be telling y'all, you be like, Coach, how you be knowing so much? If I'm outside. You'll take that and you'll be like, well, tell me where you read it. I don't read. I ain't read in a minute. Why would I consume someone else's information when I have it all within? Right? You also have it all within. The problem is, many of you do not want to take the leap. And it's not really a leap once you take it. Yeah, in the beginning, it may be challenging, but haven't you been through challenging things before? Don't you want nature to begin to approach you? Don't you want to see your family again? Aren't you tired of these beings snatching your animals up, pretending that they're masters of them? I know I am. Because these animals are about to they're about to kill them. They're going to die. Okay, I've seen many of their deaths already. I've seen their deaths. Yep. These people who be owning these crocodiles, calling them Sheila and Katie. Katie ain't Katie. When Katie bites your motherfucking arm off, but Katie ain't gonna bite their arm off yet, because Katie is getting fed. Katie knows if she bites their arm off, Katie's going to get killed, and Katie doesn't want to die, right? The lions in the zoo, they don't want to die. They'll wait, and they're biding their time, because they first things first, they're already awake. This is why they don't speak like we speak, because they're already awake, and they're waiting on you. We're not here for the humans, guys. We're not here for them. We're here for each other, and we're here for our animals. Okay? I'm not here for no fucking humans. They were an experiment. I do not give a damn about them. Okay? Okay? They are parasites. They consume everything and destroy everything. How many, like, when you begin to tap in to what's really important and you just like be driving and you just be seeing animals smacked on the side of the road, it's like, damn. Or these beings who are they call it what they call them, evasive. They call everything that they don't want around them evasive. So I saw this one video. This lady had like 100 raccoons at her spot in Florida, right? And they're evasive species. Isn't it interesting how evasive species call everything evasive? I was living in Williamstown, New Jersey, years ago, or months ago, before I moved, and there was a ton of mugwort growing all around the trail. And they were like, the mugwort's evasive. I said, no. The mugwort's telling y'all you need to actually tap in the dream state and receive your information. But because you're too asleep to realize it, you are missing out on it and you're killing it. Or it was a ton of mullein growing around my area as well. And lo and behold, as soon as September, October hit, I go on Facebook and I see many people having breathing problems, right? Last time mullein was growing everywhere. And because people did not know, because they were sleeping, they missed out on all the medicine that was growing around them. Because humans are stupid. They're dumb. And they'll follow anybody. No, not all humans are. Not all humans. But for the majority, these niggas gotta go. They gotta go. They gotta go. I ain't even mad at them either. I realize what they are. I realize how they were created. Because I'm part of the family that created them. And I'm like, man, look at that. So anybody could just come here and just tell y'all what to do, and y'all, because you're paralyzed with fear, you'll just listen. That makes sense. That makes sense. And for too many years, humans have disregarded what is really important. Like, they want to live in nature, but they don't really want to live in nature. Oh, y'all up there, huh? What's up? Deer's just all around me right now. The frequency will call them. Like I said, the frequency will call them. You don't even got to go hunt them. Like, I know y'all be watching these videos and y'all be seeing them snatch snakes up. Please don't try that. Leave them alone. Do not let these beings make you think that shit is cool. Because when these animals grow, it will be Jurassic World on this planet, and they will remember when you tried to fuck with them. Just so y'all know. They will remember when you tried to mess with them. They'll remember when you tried to mimic beings that are here for you to get your asses whooped. But you ever wonder how these beings acquire their wealth? Like, you never ask yourself a question how these beings amass their wealth? Maybe their only job is to trick you, to make you think that they are the real beings, to destiny swap you from realizing that you're the real beings. Ever since we were children, we saw beings online like the crocodile hunter. He didn't look like you. He wasn't even, his biology was not nature. But we learned so much from the crocodile hunter, right? He overcome many acts of death. But what killed him? One of the nicest beings in the ocean, a stingray, right in his freaking chest. Here, right through the heart with your bitch ass. Because you ain't us. Yeah. Many of these guys are going to have deaths very similar and worse than that. Remember I said this. And it's not that I wish death on them, but nature has shown me. I'm just telling y'all, stop trying to be like them, because they're destiny swapping you. Every time you watch them and say, wow, that's great, you are approving them being you. Destiny swapped. Yup. This is how that shit work. There's many ways you can be destiny swapped just by agreeing that that shit is cool. Just by thinking that that can't be you. It now is not you. This man goes to the gym every day. He got all big and ripped, and these niggas, he's freaking heavy. He's too freaking heavy for nature. That's not a nature body. Okay? He don't climb trees. He's not sleeping outside. All right? He is an op. I keep on seeing the day where when we're back in our glory again, which we will all, I'm not going to say all, because you actually have to create your reality if you want that reality. So I'm not going to say all who have accepted the mission of them chosen, because chosen choose themselves. So when you are stepping out of your comfort zone, and yes, many of us do not have all the answers. That's the best part about it, right? People, they like, well, what do you do? What do you do? How do you leave the system? And we be spitballing how we leave the system instead of just doing something that's bigger than what we ever did before, and allowing it to develop. Realizing that the answers will not come through until we do something. Realizing at that time we don't have all the answers. See, a lot of y'all want all the answers up front, which is going to make you feel comfortable for leaving. And I get that, because that's your old thought form. That's your old thought form. I get it. I totally get it. I totally get how it's very scary to leave something that you depended upon your whole life. I understand. I really do. I dealt with it for many years. But I had to put up or shut up, because I can't be talking about I'm out in nature and nature is giving me all this information and I'm not applying any of it. That's so disrespectful to myself, because nature is me. That's like, I don't know what's coming today. I don't know what's coming tomorrow. All I know is I'm going to move in the energy as if I trust in myself, because I do. And ever since I done that, I ain't been touched. I ain't been hurt. I ain't been without the whole time, because the heart has to be in the right place. See, the thing is with y'all, some of y'all only do things for money, which means your heart's not in the right place, because if you're doing it for money, you're doing it for a distorted version of nature. All money is it's basically a distorted version of your true wealth. Where do they get money from? People always say money don't grow on trees. Actually, it does. Actually, it comes from trees. So it does grow on trees, because it is a tree. Okay? So many beings are doing everything they do for money, and your heart's not in the right place when you've been doing it. Well, your heart's not right in the right place at all if you're doing it for money. So this is why bad things keep on happening to you, because you're not doing things from a righteous standpoint. When you are willing to lose everything by risking everything, you get everything, because you get rewarded from the spiritual realm, which is merging with this realm right now. I just want y'all to know that the spiritual realm is merging with this realm. This is what you're seeing in the sky. They try to kim the skies. They trying to kim the moon now. That don't be working, right? They're fighting. Well, if they're fighting, you need to be fighting for yourself, because they're fighting because they know that you're about to wake up. And if you haven't already initiated the process of action to wake up, you're going to be sitting there watching other beings wake up, missing the ball, gaslighting yourself as you don't have to do anything right now. You can wait on it. You cannot wait on it. You cannot wait on it. If you're here right now, this is your wake-up call. Normally people find me when this is the wake-up call time. You find me when it's time to fucking work. When you're ready, when you're realizing that the things you're watching is bullshit. The people that you're watching is bullshit. The reporters inside the house. Or distraction inside the house. Reporting, right? Everything that you need to be knowing or not knowing. Because all these anomalies that are happening in all these other dimensions, I mean, that's cool. But have you seen it in your dimension? Because you can hear about all these anomalies happening in the dimensions. And if it's not happening in yours, it doesn't matter. How about you move and you make it happen in yours? How about that? You want to see you want to see an extra moon, or you want to be able to sun gaze at the moon? I mean, to gaze, because that's a night sun. That moon is a night sun. That moon is white, pink, red, and green. That's a night sun, and they're trying to chem it, and the wind is whooping their ass. They're not going to stop. So I'm not even worried about them. They're not going to stop. The wind is fighting back. Nature is fighting back. That sun is popping right now, right? And if you're not seeing these anomalies that you're hearing about, that means you're not in motion, because you need to be in motion. Some of y'all just got to be real with yourself and be like, yo, I've been a bitch. I got all this knowledge. I can repeat what everybody else said sitting in a chair. I can flex this knowledge to my family. I can flex this knowledge to my friends. I can have long conversations about metaphysics. But can I go outside? Can I go outside? Can I risk everything? Because we set this game up. We set up, like, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, right? So if you know how video games are created, right? So let's talk about a video game such as, let's say, Sonic the Hedgehog, right? And if you look, the creator creates a replication of what they created in a lower form. So a melanated man created video games, but Caucasians took that over, right? And then they create their own little video games because they're the creating video games, trying to trick the creator that they need to be in the video game. So the creator doesn't realize they're the video game. And I want you to think about Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, before you begin to pick up the joystick to play Sonic the Hedgehog, there was a preset opposition already in that game. There were preset levels already in that game, were they not? There was a preset boss at the end of every level in that game, were they not? So let's talk about your game, the game of life that you're in right now. What if there was never a past at all? What if that was the preset in the game before you got here? What if there was no Egypt? There was definitely no slavery. What if there was no we lost our land? What if there was no they stole our land? What if there was just getting it all back? And the game was the fact that we thought it was before we came here, and nothing ever happened before we came here. And before we embedded ourselves in the game, we obviously had to create and build it before we got here. What if that was the case? And the whole way of you getting to your next levels is just to overcome what you already built. You had to create an adversary. You had to go to school to think there was a history that you had to learn to overcome. You had to create a set of programs inside of your mind to make this shit so real that you thought there was a past at all before you got here. Because, I mean, as above, so below, as within, so without. And if you really begin to study this game and what it showed you when you were a child, it showed you what the fuck was going on in your life. As many of you and all of you are realizing that your life was the actual movie and you're the actual star. You've always been the star, always will be the star. Always. Listen, if you begin to study your environment, right, and begin to see that everybody is really just watching you, at first it bugs us out. I gotta admit, at first it bugged me out to realize that everybody was watching me here in this reality over here, right? And it pissed me off. I'm like, they're gang stalking and all that stuff, but this is really just the part of the game I created to make me realize that I was the show. I had to set it up to make me realize they're watching me. So I put little systems in the game of helicopters following me home and jets flying over my house and planes flying until they annoyed me enough to make me realize where the level of the game was pushing me when I began to act. Because I wasn't seeing that stuff until I began to act upon the level that I was in. See, a lot of you are not acting upon the level that you're in. So you're constantly seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. As I am seeing, look at this. Check this out. Check this out, y'all. Check this out. Hold on. Let me show y'all something. As I talk about it, it happens. Look, car here, and who the fuck is this fat ass motherfucker right here? Who is that? What is going on? And stop right in front of the spot. I'm in the mountain, y'all. As I talk about it, it happens. This is confirmation. This is confirmation. These motherfuckers work for me. Oh, I don't know who I waved at. My bad. That was a mistake. These motherfuckers work for me. This nigga just picked him up on a mountain. That is so random. Who does that? That's never happened in the history since I've been here. I've been here for 2 weeks. That has never happened. Oh, I love it. Because that is supposed to be like a distraction that I created for myself. You see? You have to you have to really understand what it is you are seeing around you and the fact that you created it. Like, let's talk about the real Tarzan again, because he's been on my mind, because I seen what's about to happen to him soon. That was given to me from nature to realize what's about to happen. So nature shows me beings, and it shows me how much I can see other people's realities and what's going to happen to them in their game. Right? It also shows you how connected you are, like how much you are tapping into everything that you see. You can realize and break down everything that you see. You can break down everyone that you see. Because if you're seeing somebody else's reality, you have access to it. And you can see what's going on in that reality once you achieve a high enough level of you. Right? Because you're truly unlimited. You know, last year was interesting too. Last year, when I began to rescue my bearded dragons, because that was me rescuing the bearded dragons was me, and I actually would not have realized they're dinosaurs until I got the call from nature to rescue them. But in order to realize I had to rescue them, I had to go to a pet store and actually speak to a bearded dragon. Right? I went to a pet store to get something for my cats, and they had bearded dragons in there. And I looked at them in the tank, and they kept on showing me a telepathic image of them as much bigger. And they were telling me we're slaves, we're captive, we're telling me we're dinosaurs. I'm like, what? And I didn't really grasp that at the moment, because a lot of the real information, the real truth is much, much stranger than your true reality. Like, the real reality that you're from is the stuff that you saw on cartoons. That's your real world. Right? So I would not have gotten to the point where I rescued them unless I was out in nature, then one day go to a pet store. And because I was out in nature, I now had connection to the reptiles. And the reptiles told me, hey, yo, we dinosaurs, rescue us, get us out of here, right? Get us out of here. But not all of us, get only certain of us out of here, because some animals that are in captivity are the beings who caught them in captivity in previous lifetimes. And they're dealing with their karma as well. So not all animals are not supposed to be there. Some animals that are in captivity are the beings who put them in captivity and realize and living their life and because karma will come back around, right? So sometimes when a being has done so much bullshit, or an energy has done so much to another being, they will live the life of the being and that will be done to them. That's why I don't be feeling sorry for like children and beings that go through certain things. I don't feel sorry for everything, because I realize if they're there, then they could be there for a reason. And sometimes they're there so you can realize that you have the capability to get them out too. Okay? So sometimes it just be experience. Like some beings want to experience captivity, right? And some beings are experiencing captivity because they put beings in captivity too. Yeah, this shit is wild, yo. But you got to begin to study your world. You got to begin to study everything that you've seen, because everything that you've seen in your world was something to study. Everything. Absolutely everything. That's why I'm like, yo, all of us, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 83, right? I'm an 80s baby. So we got Super Mario Brothers, we got Sonic the Hedgehog, we got these things, right? Super Mario Brothers. You want to study that? What happened when Super Mario Brother hit the little block and got a shroom out? He grew. That was Super Mario Brother tapping into his higher self. That was telling you about mushrooms. What kind of mushroom was it? It was an Amanita muscaria. Why did they use Amanita muscaria? Because Amanita muscaria will tap you into that higher self. What happened when he got another mushroom? He could shoot fire. Well, last time I checked, when I tapped into psilocybin mushroom, I could bend fire. And I'm sure I can shoot it out of my hands, because I saw videos of me. I saw images of me shooting it out of my hands. Wow, that really happens. And then the other Super Mario Brothers, when he tapped into more stuff, what happened? He could fly. Because in higher dimensions, you can fly. That's where you're going right now. Well, that's where many of us are going right now, that are actually outside in our higher dimensions right now, because nature is an actual higher dimension, which is why when you go into the cities, those cities are chemtrailed. But when you go closer to nature, the natures are less chemtrailed, because technology of chemtrails cannot survive for a long time around nature. It cannot. It tries. It cannot. Right? Because nature is a higher dimension. And when they try to come to this higher dimension and put lower dimensional stuff there, it can't survive. So what the parasites do is they'll come to higher dimensional places and they'll try to kill it. They'll try to cut the wood. They'll try to, especially if you're there, they'll try to do weed whacking and saws, because they're letting you know that even if you're like I'm in a cabin, right, in the mountains, even if you're in a cabin in a higher dimension, don't get comfortable even being in this cabin. I want you to walk out in nature, because when they be annoying me, I made sure that I set them up to annoy me. I don't even get mad at them no more. I'll be like, that's just cute. Like, it was a guy yesterday blowing rocks because I was at a place that was more public in the mountains. And he was like, keep on traveling, keep on going, keep on going. Because he works for me. If you looked at these beings as not ops, like as far as like Tarzan is not an op to me. He's a wake-up call to what's going on. And he was there to let me know how connected I am to what's about to happen to the animals. He's not an op to me because I don't fall for his bullshit. If you fall for his bullshit, he's still an op to you. He's there as an op to wake you up to yourself. Remember, I told you, this is all your mind. And you have to realize why beings show up as certain things to you. They're there to trick you so you can beat the tricks, get through the levels, and realize what it is you're watching, what it is you're seeing. It's a complex game you created that is not that complex when you begin to tap into your complexity internally, because this shit is very simple to us that are tapped into nature. It's very simple. It's very simple. At this time, I mean, y'all should be waking up with vibrations. You should be grounding every day. There's not a day that walks by that you should not that goes by that you should not ground. I wake up every day with vibrations. I feel the twitches in my back. Have y'all been feeling the twitches in your back and the heat in your stomach? Like, and they showed you this in Captain America, the new Captain America, when the president was about to go through Hulk transformation, his calf started to twitch and his neck started to twitch, like, and jump. Like, I be feeling that every day. Letting you know that you're the Hulk. And you're going through mild transformations. Some beings say the language that I speak is making their feet like go like this. Yeah, those are dragon feet, y'all. I'm activating the dragon aspects of you, the transformation aspect of you, which is why all my life I have been under heavy fire, because I'm the one that can awaken the molecular structure in your body so it can awaken itself. Blos kuamara, quest, iloemo, quext, quesinjomist, vusaemo koek, razicomio epsiamo, jucoimo zikilans, via iximo visere quast. Bogia giumbomist, caigla exum, via exizumama viumist. Jicaya eboemos guimos, ziamo ekirik, uvamo exiange, ziaexiomorphiast, gaigajumo, fecaiglest, viaioxumo, bliaiamo viaio zucaiglest, mesacuimia jicolemos autocumixt, via zucomerik dels mikait. Mukaila araku mafikai glemost. Beskai glemost. Correct. Somebody said, have I witnessed entities walking through other beings that cause them to moan in their sleep? That used to pull at my energy and it no longer works. Man, listen. If a being has a low enough consciousness, anything can inhabit them. This is what they showed you in the Matrix. This is what you showed you in the Matrix. Y'all start taking accountability for these movies y'all create. Y'all be creating these movies to tell yourself these things. This is why you're drawn to it in certain movies and certain cartoons. You're drawn to these movies because you're the one who created them. So, if a being has a low enough level of consciousness, of course they'll be inhabited. If you have a low enough level of consciousness, you'll be inhabited. And it will inhabit any aspect of you that is unhealed. So many gods get inhabited all the time because they're unhealed. That's why it's very important. What I've realized is very important to stay away from any substances until you're balanced or until you can live without a substance. So I had to have a conversation with myself a few days ago, and another version of myself was online talking about something they let go, and I was like, you know what? What is difficult? What do I call higher form that I utilize through this dimension that I maybe can live without, and should try it right now? My higher self said cannabis. You need to let go of cannabis. I'm like, for real, cannabis? Higher self said, why do you think you need it? You already got it inside of you. All cannabis does is open up what's already inside of you. So can't you ascend without it? I'm like, hell yeah, I could take the challenge. Higher self said, then let it go. Done. Now, it was supposed to be 3 days without cannabis. But I've realized that in these 3 days that I've let cannabis go, my language is actually getting better. And normally, maybe I would use cannabis as maybe a little bit of a crutch to bring more of my language out. And that was good for the time. My higher self said, let cannabis go until you feel called to it again, because you can't be smoking it even if you're taking a couple pulls every day, because you need to balance yourself out in the higher dimensions. And in the dimensions that you're going to, cannabis may not exist in the dimensions that you're going to. So let it go. So I let it go. Let it go. I've let everything else go. Why not cannabis, right? Another one is, let's say if you're unhealed and you're taking psilocybin, shrooms, you probably should just let go of that. And now I've been tapping into breath work heavily. And breath work does the same thing, if not better than cannabis, because it's activating the DMT with already inside of me that the cannabis and the shrooms and the 5-MeO DMT would bring out. You know what I mean? Where do you recommend finding fresh psilocybin? You didn't spell it right, but it's okay. I got what you meant. I don't know if I want to recommend it anymore to anybody, because I don't know who I'm recommending it to. No offense, brother, but I don't think I want to recommend any psilocybin to anybody. I don't want to be the one involved in that process anymore. I don't. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because I don't even want to talk like that in the DMs. Because I'll say you can hit me up in the DM, and then people will send me essays like, are you trying to steal my energy? Because you just sent me like a 4-page essay thinking I'm about to sit here and read this shit. Like, I told you my time is valuable. So I'm not saying it's you, but I'm just getting tired of vampires in my DMs. I'm really like, my patience for beings with all the help that I give is wearing. My patience for gods is wearing. My patience for humans is gone. Humans are only here for the game. They're only here for the game. It's like the Sims game, yo. And then you got fill-ins. Humans are fill-ins for the game. They are not coming. They're not. They're fill-ins. Okay? They're fill-ins. I'm only worried about gods here. That's it. And some of you guys is walking around acting like humans. There was a point in the game where you had to transition into godhood. This is the point. Ask yourself a question today. What am I doing that humans do? What am I thinking that humans think? What am I believing that humans believe? And then ask yourself, why? When you ask yourself these questions and you begin to get to the bottom of it, you'll normally get to some trauma that exists that was created at an early age or an older age. And then you go on a little journey to be able to heal yourself from that trauma. Normally, it could be a person that's around you that continues to perpetuate that trauma because you probably attracted them before you healed from that trauma. So all you did was attract a reflection. And then you have to get rid of that reflection because you're trying to get rid of that trauma or that belief. And then something that you're doing in your life is correlating with that belief. Let's say you believe that you need to have this particular house with a white picket fence, right? Or this much money, right? Well, that belief could have been, I need to have a job or a career to feel like I'm successful. And then you ask yourself, well, who told you that? Probably your human parents. And you're still following that belief, that system, that program. And you're going to have to step away from that in order to overcome that system, that belief, that program. And stepping away from that will give you the real knowledge of self. Because for every program you step away, you get a little batch of your true self. Everything that you let go that holds you back, you get a batch of your true self. And then slowly but surely, you begin to feel drawn to your true self, which is nature. And all these trees you see around you, look, y'all, all these trees you see around you, all these trees, all these trees, all these roots, all these trees and all these roots are the real internet. And all you got to do is put your feet on the ground. You want to really absorb some things. Put your feet in some roots. All you got to do is hug a tree, and they'll tell you everything. And all you got to do, you can ask it too. You can be like, listen, can you release your healing power within me? And can you teach me everything about the tree network? Because the trees hear and see everything that's ever happened in this reality. And all you got to do is trust and know that all the information lies within you, and they can assist unlocking you as you assist unlocking you. And everything will come together. But if you're sitting around online, first things first. If you're online, what are you doing here if you're not sharing your light? Can I ask you that question? If you're not sharing your light, why are you here? I really want to know. Because if I wasn't sharing my light, I would not be the fuck online. So I'm just on here consuming. Another thing you be acting like with a human. You consuming everybody else's light, but you ain't sharing yours. You hiding your profile picture. You scared? What you scared of? Are you scared to show your true face? Oh, you must not be trusting in your protection. I get it. I get it. You're not sharing your authenticity. You know, every time I be telling people, I'm like, yo, if you share your authenticity online, I'll share it. I'll share it all day. I will share it all day. And when people send me somebody else's content, it annoys me so much. I'm like, why are you sending me what they doing? What are you doing? Are you outside? That's why people hit me up and they don't have no profile picture or you don't have no content. I be thinking you a straight op. I don't even want to talk to you. People would hit me up and they be wanting to know everything about me, but they don't be telling me shit about them. They just be giving me information. No, 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 no. Who are you? You're still living in fear, huh? Oh, you're still afraid to show your true self to the world. So you're just on here just consuming. I got it. It's just a question. Don't get in your feelings. Don't get in your feelings. That's real shit. Why are you on social media? What is your job? Some of y'all part of the problem. Yep. Just consuming human shit. Humans consume, and they don't get back. Don't get back. Consume. They don't contribute. That's why I'm like, yo, y'all be thinking y'all do well in the community. Some of y'all think y'all would do well in a community of your peers. You know, the way you do one thing is, I used to tell my kids this, right? I used to tell my sons, the way you do one thing is the way you do all things. So I would tell my son, well, Reggie, if you don't clean your room and you're lazy, why do you think that I'm going to trust you with more responsibility if you can't even deal with the little bit of responsibility you have? Well, Reggie, if you're not practicing in basketball for this whack-ass team, if I put you in AAU, you're going to fail. Right? Well, if you're lying about this little thing, you're definitely going to lie about something big. Because if you're lying about something you don't got to lie about, you're definitely going to lie about the big shit. The way you do one thing is the way you do all things. So all this whole coming together talk, right? Right? Most of the people online be talking this coming together talk, right? Right? It sounds good until you got to do it. No skills, because you haven't learned how to fix anything. You have no skills. And you want to come together with other melanated beings that you don't know as well. Okay? So you mean to tell me, if you're online right now and you're not contributing to the movement of ascension, and then you telling me you're going to get offline and you're going to contribute to real movement of ascension in person, I'm supposed to believe that shit? I'd rather do this shit by myself until the ships come, until I can fly. I will do this whole thing alone until I meet somebody in person or a group of person and we can do it. I will sit here by myself. I don't care, because it's better than bullshitting, right? With people that bullshit, because I'm not bullshitting. I'm serious. They bullshit. You're bullshitting online right now. So why would I think you bullshit in person? Are you going to tribe up? Are you going to click up? No, I'm not going to tribe up. I look at your content. You don't have no content. You ain't contributing now. That's why I want y'all to think. I want y'all to really think, because some of y'all really be forming these groups and you're not studying who you forming these groups with. Y'all not studying them. I be knowing it off the rip quickly. I be knowing it. Like, I don't want to talk to you. You ain't about shit. You hiding. If you hiding online when it's easy to show your true self, you're going to hide in person because you can't hide from me online. So you ain't going to be able to hide from me in person because you're going to have to be accountable in person. And most people that you think can do that, you better off alone. You about to set yourself up for failure. Keep on thinking it's sweet. Keep on following all these people talking about these groups. Oh, y'all done begun. It's time for me to get off live. Y'all hear that, right? I'm in a mountain. I told you I set this up for myself. Anyway, keep on thinking that this shit is sweet and you're going to learn a valuable lesson. I remember I used to have these retreats, right? In 2020, I had 3 of them. And I would have these retreats, and it would be always a problem because when you do plant medicine around people that you really don't know, the demon comes out of these people. The demon comes out, right? And this is why you don't do plant medicine around anybody, because you get to know what's really inside of them that they try to hide. This is how you really get to know somebody. You either live with them or you do plant medicine with them, and then you find out what demons lay inside them, because you can't hide when you tap into plant medicine, family. You cannot hide. Somebody said, I'm trying to understand how I ended up here. Ended up where, Divine Love? Ended up where? On this live? Ended up on this live? I don't know. Somebody said, once I feel the energy, I don't even talk to folks. Yo, facts. And the thing is, the more you tap into your natural energy, which is nature, the more you can feel other beings' energy, even through DM. And then you can watch the energy that they project to the world. Because once that means you're Divine Love, you're supposed to be on this live. There's something that you need to hear in this live. So you might want to just sit back and listen. You clicked on the live, so you're still here and you felt need to comment. So that must mean you're supposed to be here. So just listen. That's all. Just listen, But I need y'all to really understand what your reality is telling you and to really learn how to read your reality. Read the people that are telling you what they're doing and watch what it is they're projecting. Because when you're living a particular life that is purity and righteousness, and you don't have anybody around you, and you feel a need to be on social media, this is because you need to be sharing your light to change your reality. Otherwise, when you're on social media, you are only a consumer, which means you are a part of the problem. And a lot of beings do not want to hear that. Okay? This is a game. This is a game. You're still hiding your profile picture in 2025, but you're out here talking about you're divinely protected, heavily guarded, and highly favored. Put it to the test. Why don't y'all put it to the test? I mean, I said it. I put it to the test, and I found out I was correct. But I will only know it to feel confident to say it if I put it to the test. Right? When the whole force was calling me last week, 16 police officers came on a mountain to come see me. I wasn't there. I went on a hike already. But when I turned around on a hike to go back to my truck, and at the entrance, at the beginning of the trail where my truck was, they were waiting for me. I knew that nothing was going to happen to me. Even though they had their vest on, they had their guns, they were ready to go in, right? I came, I was like, what's up, fellas? What's up? All y'all here for me? And I laughed at him, right? And one was like, he was very polite. He was like, yo, can I talk to you real quick? I was like, yeah, what's up? What's going on? And he was talking to me about my katana, because whenever I bring my katana out, that's when cops get called. Because that katana for the guardian beings is our gun. You see, their guns are their little pistol shooters, which is designed off of the black penis. The gun is designed off of the black penis, which is why it's black and it shoots bullets. The original gun design was the I don't know what kind of, it's like the revolver. It's a revolver, they call it. And that's designed off of the black male's penis, because that is the only thing that could destroy their race. When we have sex with their women, we ejaculate into them and we basically kill them. So the gun was their way to kill us, or the way in the game we designed for them to kill us. Our gun for the guardians is the sword. So when they see us with a sword, it's equivalent to having a bazooka. and they got to get the force called out on us. But I knew that I was divinely protected, heavily guarded, highly favored. So when they all came to me and they talked to me and I had my sword in my hand, they couldn't tell me they couldn't arrest me. They couldn't tell me to put the sword, to keep the sword at home. They asked me nicely, are you able to keep it at home and practice at home? Not realizing, as I told them, I said, this is actually my home. My home is actually in nature. So you're telling me to keep it at home, and that's what I'm trying to do. The problem is that you Caucasians follow me everywhere, and because you want to see me because you're fans. And when you see me wielding my sword, you equate that to a gun, and you feel like you're going to die right then and there, because when you see a guardian being with the katana that knows how to use it, it heightens fear. And that's why the force gets called every time I have a sword. But I knew that I was divinely protected, so there was nothing to be afraid of. So I walked into the belly of the beast with all the cops, realizing that I was the strongest unit in all those cops, so there was nothing to be afraid of. And the only reason why I could get to that point and not being afraid of the whole force when it was at me is because I did things previously in my reality to prove to myself that I was divinely protected by putting my face online for the past 11 years. Some of y'all have to begin to test how much protection you're talking about having, because the way some of y'all moving, y'all really don't believe what the fuck y'all talking about. It sound good though, don't it though? It don't sound good to do. It don't feel good to do though. Some of y'all be like, yeah, I'm protected by my ancestors, but you still hiding online. You still not showing what's going on with you online. People be like, yeah, I speak that language, so how come you're not sharing it with the world then? You know if you speak my language or a variation of my language, you have an activating language. And by actually keeping it to yourself, telling me you speak it in your comment section, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear shit. Shut up. I speak the same language. Where's it at? Send it to me. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. You ain't doing shit. You're. How many times did I say to activate? How many times I put my language out here and helped you? Meanwhile, you have calibration language of your own and you refuse to help other beings as well because you bitch and scared because you're worried about what your family thinks and what your friends think, and you're mad you're not getting any views and yada yada because you're not living in your authenticity. Why would the ancestors push you out there if you're not living in your authenticity? Do you realize? Okay, I'm gonna give you an example about living in your authenticity, because a lot of y'all have these pages, right, where people from your past follow you on these pages. And you refuse to share your life because you realize they're not going to accept you. And you don't want to start a new page because you're afraid that nobody will follow you and you won't be getting any views. All right, I'll give you an example of something I did. On my Mr. Intensity page on this Instagram platform, I had 203,000 followers. Many of y'all never even seen that page before. But that was my previous persona. I was a health influencer for the last, 8 years, right? Since 2014, I was a fitness trainer to a health influencer. And I built this following. I built many followings: TikTok following, YouTube following, Instagram followings, several. One was 50,000. I had to shut that down. The other one got 203,000 followers, right? And then I was told by Spirit that when I began to express my authentic self, my true self, the right beings will be sent to me. So I started Coach Reg B, and I stopped posting on Mr. Intensity, right? Because whenever I would post something as far as spiritual content on on Mr. Intensity, it would get no views. And then whenever I would post health stuff on Mr. Intensity, it would get 200 views, sometimes 1,000,000 views, whatever. So I put my authenticity to the test and started to share my language on this platform, Coach Reg B. And guess what, y'all? I started to go viral. As soon as I shared my language, that's when I went viral. Why? Because I trusted in my authentic self. Some of y'all, you don't trust yourselves, but you want to get the rewards as if you do. Where we do that at? You don't trust in yourself, but you want the reward as if you do. That's why things ain't working out for you. Because you're not really out there yet. You're not putting yourself out there yet. You got all these gifts and all these abilities. We got this social media platform to be able to share and transmute social media, right? The revolution is going on right now, and you are sitting here watching other beings put themselves out there, and you're not doing anything. You got the language, but you're not sharing it. You got the mudras, but you're not sharing it. You got the dance, but you're not sharing it. You got the drawings, which will activate, but you're not sharing it. You got the testimony, but you're not sharing it. This is why I share my testimony so much. Because many beings that you've seen online, they be having real shit happen to them, but they never be telling you because they don't want to be judged, because they don't want to lose the money. So somebody got to tell you what the fucking real deal is. Somebody got to tell you. Who the fuck else is going to tell you if I ain't going to tell you shit? What? Somebody said, my first page was shut down. I lost my business and house. I wanted to quit, but I put myself to the test. Now I'm blowing up. It's only been months and I'm on fire. See that? See that? See that? Salute to you for putting yourself out there. Salute to you for putting yourself out there. Why are some of y'all not proud of yourselves for everything that you've already been through? You've already been through so many things that nobody else could get through. And then you stop right here. But you're on social media, because if you're watching me, you're on social media. So why don't I see you out there putting your authentic self out there? Why do I only see you in everybody else's comment section, but you ain't really putting yourself out there yet? Are you faking it? Are you an op here? Or are you just a human who don't know what else to fucking do? And if you're a human that don't know what else to do, I get it, because ain't nothing going to happen if you're a human. You ain't going to get no powers if you're a human. And normally humans don't really find their way on my channel. But sometimes they do. And then they find out real quick they're a human, and then they go away. Because I'm not here for y'all. I'm here for the gods, the primordial beings, and the animals. The trees, the insects, and all that stuff. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. That is what I'm here for, family. Okay. No. Jim, Izzy, I'm getting there. Cut that shit out. Cut that shit out. You're already there. I'm getting there. That's a gaslight. You're gaslighting yourself. This is what people say to gaslight themselves. You've been commenting on my stuff for a long time. You're getting there. Then get offline until you're there. How about that? Challenge yourself that. Don't come back online until you're there. Because otherwise you're consuming my energy and you're not giving nothing back. And I got to assume you'll do it in person. And I got to assume that you're a vampire. You realize a lot of y'all are unknowingly being vampires right now? This shit is real, yo. A lot of y'all guys be whole vampires out here. Whole vampires. Yup. Whole vampires. And some of y'all, you have to be real. You have to be real about yourself. To yourself. So you can step into your power and be able to move along with this. So one day we can meet. But if you don't even get this, how are we ever going to form this is what they want. They want you to be so afraid of this online platform that you take my light and you don't share nobody else's. This is what they want. This is how you set the adversary up. You set the adversary up like this. You made them real good because you're really smart. You're really complex. You're really scientific. You're really mathematical. You are the truth. You are more complex than you ever thought you were, family. Ever. So, at the end of the day, take this message, take it with love. I give my message with love. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. Because I know your true potential, and I'm fighting for that. But you got to fight for it, because I can't fight for you if you don't fight for you. Remember what I said? I love you. Till the next video. Zaklaik u korek most. Elewast. Vile atakume rekliks. Uliak soon barak sikt.